A popular form of art that has steadily been on the slow incline on our TikTok from around 2022 fast forward till now has carefully been creating a new wave of depressed artists making what seems to be called unironically vent art, an interesting self-reflective and rather deprecating way of sharing their otherwise relatable experiences with other artists on said platform and exchanging sad emotions that walk hand in hand with them. Here's what I mean.
I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you?
Disclaimer: the video you're about to watch contains emotional triggers and mildly disturbing but rather relatable situations. This video is made for entertainment purposes only. It doesn't mean to hurt anyone. Don't take it too seriously. Vent art, as is popularly classified by the TikTok art community, is a form of art where the artist creates an image, typically a drawing, painting, or animation, to process and communicate intense emotions to their rather impressionable audience. These intense emotions may or may not be negative in some instances, but are rather not limited to anger, sadness, frustration, regret, and/or grief. To artists on TikTok, drawing vent art has become a personal and therapeutic way of literally taking the load off your chest, acting as a visual diary or a way to vent feelings which may be hard to express through words alone but happen to be relatable to other people on TikTok. Many artists use vent art to cope with personal trauma from situations they may have experienced in the past, while others use vent art as a means to outwardly relieve built-up stress from situations they may have experienced in the past. This video from Milanote, which has over 4 million views and almost 10,000 comments, has artists in their feelings, reminiscing on times they shared their sweet love with their significant other. The caption says, "It feels like I'm not enough for anybody," and a lot of people in the comments shared the same sentiment as the artist, saying they were tired of loving like a dog and sharing experiences from their personal lives. "I'm tired of destroying my mental health to support everyone, then having no one there for me when I need it. My ex broke up with me and said that she never actually loved me. She just did it because she didn't want me to feel bad. I used to be affectionate. Now what happened? She replaced me with someone else after we separated school. What hurt more was that she broke the promise of attending my birthday." While these comments pushed me to the edge of my seat, reaching out for the box of tissues to wipe away the built-up tears in my painfully sleepy eyes, it made me realize a lot of people were going through and possibly still going through similar situations, feeling neglected or not feeling loved enough despite giving everything in their heart, which is quite an utterly sad and heartbreaking feeling. Giving out your heart and expecting just at least a tiny bit of the same treatment in return, only to be rejected by your significant other or seen as a disappointment. As painful as it is, we end up having to teach ourselves to love again by learning to love ourselves first. This artist's video, with over 300,000 views and 800 comments, started a rather unusual conversation in the comments, which had me wondering where all these people were, just so we could send someone to check on them just to see if they're okay. While the drawings in this TikTok video didn't include or show any person or group of people participating in the act of sending themselves back to the lobby prematurely, the comments all seemed to agree with the content of the video, which I found rather disturbing if I'm being completely honest. It feels so wrong. I feel like no matter where I am or who I'm around, I'm out of place. It's like I was supposed to be out of the picture years ago. I'm sticking around because it will be cruel to the people that love me if I didn't. I graduate Sunday. I wasn't supposed to make it this far, and I don't know what to do with my life. I'm so scared. Comments like these and many more from people all agreeing and explaining how they each felt as if they were floating through each day passively without feeling a thing or two were riddled in the entire comment section. Are these people doing okay? Before anyone makes the rash decision of putting their loved ones in a position where they have to solo clutch their duo or end up playing solo versus squads because they lost their teammates' reboot card hard. Remember, everyone loves you. You don't have to send yourself to the lobby. No matter what your situation is or how bad things are, it always somehow turns out better in the future. Trust me on that one. You don't have to know where you're going or what you're doing every single day, but as long as you have an idea of what you want to do, no matter what it is, hang on to that for hope and breathe through each day chasing that single glimmer of hope. Artists who enjoy the fulfilling art of creating OCs oftentimes end up drawing some of their personal features on their original characters. These features could be physical characteristics like their hairstyle or hair color, or sometimes it could just be the artist's dress sense, and other times it could be bodily features like freckles, acne, scars, stretch marks, vitiligo, eye bags, or in the case of this TikTok video, yellow teeth. A lot of people have teeth that are warmly diluted to an extent. I myself sadly fall into this conscious pit of warmly diluted teeth, and while coming to terms and accepting these insecurities as part of you doesn't make you any less of a person, it ends up being quite difficult for some people. Others accept it and even make jokes about it with self-deprecating humor as a way to accept and manage their insecurities. I can only imagine the kind of comments this artist was receiving on their video, which led them to make the unanimous decision of turning off the comments for everybody. Exploring the complicated muscles of the male specimen and conveying these curves and contours into drawings on a plain white digital canvas is a rather fascinating way I spend my free time when I'm not making YouTube videos. But organizing all these photos of different muscles from various body parts and then carefully arranging them alongside art from other artists who happen to share the same affliction as me when it comes to drawing the male specimen in all its glory always feels like playing a game of chess with my computer and losing. That is, until I found a better platform that provides all of these and much more with today's sponsor, Milanote. Milanote is an interactive tool that helps you organize and visualize the planning stages of your creative projects on one platform, so accessing them can be easier. Milanote allows you to collect and organize pictures, videos, notes and text and arrange them into different boards using any of their built-in templates, making it easy for you to start off your creative projects. You can also create several tasks for different things you want to study and tick them when you're done. Using Milanote is quite easy. I start by creating a general board where I'll lay out a broad overview for everything concerning the project I'm about to work on. Then I'll move on to place my references in a subboard and place all the artists I'm drawing inspiration from in a separate board so I know where to find each of them, and also place them side by side so I can compare and learn all at the same time. I like to use Milanote's web clipper tool to pull images from the World Wide Web and then save every image or screenshot I find useful in its respective board. Milanote also works well when you're collaborating with other artists and working on the same project, so everyone has a good understanding of what the project is about and has access to the same references all at once, since everything is properly organized in the same place. The kind folks at Milanote are giving away free access with no time limit to everyone who signs up for a free account using the link in the description. So head over to the link in the description to try it out for free with no time limit. All the details will be in the description, and a big thank you to Milanote for sponsoring this video. Stealing art on TikTok is not an uncommon problem on the platform. Instead, it has given artists the opportunity of making sweet vent art about the situation. This artist made a video about having their OC stolen and not even being credited by the art thief, but it turns out it was all rage bait according to the comment section of the video. Or was it? 8/10 rage bait, 7.8/10 rage bait, 10/10 rage bait. I love this account so much. This is quality rage bait. While everyone in the comment section seemed to agree this TikTok video was rage bait and no one can quote unquote steal the colors of an OC because the artist wasn't the one who invented the colors in the first place, it appears the joke was on us for thinking too deep about it instead of laughing at the punchline. Other people who also happened to take the video literally started asking genuine questions suggestions about how they could go about drawing their own characters without pissing off an angry mob of TikTok artists wielding stylus pens and phone cases, while others were pleading with the artists to stop making rage-bait content and do something meaningful with their art. The grapefruit emoji was also somehow thrown into the foray of the quote-unquote rage-bait video out of context, which will lead anyone to probably assume it was because the artist had made videos about that type of thing in the past, which is quite understandable since grape is quite serious and not something people joke about on the internet. Speaking about taking things serious, this artist made a video with the caption saying, "I wish people take me seriously," nudging the pen to the fact that they were either considered a joke or just not considered at all when it came to meaningful conversations. The video, which had almost 400,000 likes and over 2,000 comments, was filled with people relating to it so much and sharing their own thoughts on the situation the artist supposedly found themselves in. My height and my face isn't suitable for my age, so I try and get comfortable with a personality that could fit with my appearance. It doesn't make it better and I got bullied for it. I always act silly and cartoonish because being serious all the time is kinda boring. The sad thing is, they think I have a mental illness. Why is everyone so serious? It feels like almost everyone sees me as a small child. Yeah, sure, I act immature and silly a lot, but I still have thoughts. I can think on my own. People act like I don't know anything, but I do. One too many of these types of comments were all under the video, with each person explaining how they were being treated for either being too comical or being a little too bubbly and lighthearted. While being stern and quietly farming aura points in a corner comes naturally to some people, other people are more relaxed and goofy, which also comes naturally to them. Forcing people to act a certain way and treating them with contempt just because they crack a few jokes or two more than the average person in your friend group isn't what's going to make them grow up or become mature all of a sudden. Some people just enjoy being jovial and are built that way, so just let them be themselves without any outside interference or influence, for God's sake. Out of most of the videos I had seen with the hashtag vent art underneath them, this video had the most amount of comments of people relating to the message the artist was saying and either being excited for finally being seen or leaving comments about how the video hit too deep because they were often seen as childish because they never took themselves too seriously. Please don't change who you are for people who probably don't really care about you that much. Don't do that. We love how goofy you are and wouldn't want to trade that for anything else. Scars, stretch marks, and or even birthmarks are being used as bait by some people who for some reason have no idea about the human body and how it processes scarifications on the skin or even injuries and are using them as insults, calling people who have scars or stretch marks tigers apparently. This video from Mel P has over 2,000 comments, and most of the people leaving their heartfelt words on a digital cyber forum all seem to have had people call them names just because of their stretch marks or scars. I got called a math notebook because of the lines. I got called zebra in middle school. A classmate of mine asked if my scars can work as a Spotify code. I can't. My Pookie calls me a cutting board and a line notebook. Wow. A cutting board is diabolical. While the majority of people leaving comments all found most of the names pretty funny and took every single instance of name calling as innocent little light-hearted jokes, some others were pretty serious about it and didn't find it funny at all, especially if their scars came from them trying to send themselves back to the lobby prematurely when the game barely started. While this vent art didn't seem to be as traumatic for some people, it still seemed quite relatable to a lot of people who had one form of scarification or the other. this video by cayninesi about them venting to their teacher and imagining what said teacher must have felt listening to them struck a nerve on quite a number of people, but some of them were mostly worried about the artist's use of the word emancipation in their video, desperately asking what the word meant. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines emancipation as to be free from restraint, control, or the power of another, especially, and I quote, to be free from bondage. Now, usually I hear this word in discussions regarding slavery and other cases of people breaking free from oppression, but in the context of this video, people were hoping the artist did not and was not intending to do something drastic by taking decisions into their own would-be hands. But the artist came out to clear all the assumptions, explaining what the word meant in the context of their video. Other people also started leaving comments about them venting to their teachers about their situations because their teachers were kind-hearted and listened to them, giving them comfort and hope that their situations would indeed be better. And I just can't thank every teacher who was kind enough to listen to their students and comfort them and cheer for them, because kids are easily susceptible to harm and could innocently make decisions they wouldn't understand at their age. So it's good having someone to talk to and a listening ear to give you advice when you're not feeling so good. So if you're watching this video and have something bothering you or something you want to talk about, leave it in the comments, and everyone going through the comments, say something nice to comfort them. Let's make someone's day brighter and put a smile on a person's face today. Well, it looks like you've made it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, share the video with a friend, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. With all that being said, I'll see all you pretty penguins in the next video. Bye!